You have probably heard the 10,000 steps goal so many times, it feels like it was handed down from some ancient health authority. Your smartwatch buzzes to remind you. Apps track your progress, and if you fall short, you might feel like you failed the day. But here's the question cardiologists are being asked more and more. Does 10,000 steps actually lower blood pressure? And do you really need to hit that number to see results? The answer is more interesting than you might expect, and it is much better news for most people. Let us start with why walking affects blood pressure at all, because most people have no idea the mechanism is this direct. When you walk regularly, your heart gets stronger. A stronger heart pumps more blood with less effort, which means it is pushing against your arteries with less force. That reduced force is what we measure as lower blood pressure. Cardiologists explain it simply. Aerobic exercise strengthens the heart the same way any exercise strengthens a muscle. The heart becomes more efficient over time, and blood pressure reflects that efficiency. But walking does not stop at the heart. It also directly affects the health of your blood vessels. When you exercise consistently, your body releases more nitric oxide, a molecule that signals blood vessel walls to relax and widen. Wider, more flexible vessels create less resistance for blood to flow through. That means lower pressure. Over time, your arteries lose some of the stiffness that builds up with age and inactivity. Cardiologists describe this as improved arterial compliance, and it translates directly to lower systolic blood pressure and less workload on the heart. There is a stress angle too. A brisk walk is one of the most effective natural interventions for lowering cortisol, the primary stress hormone. This matters more for blood pressure than most people realize. Research has found that even people with normal blood pressure can develop a higher risk of hypertension if their cortisol levels are chronically elevated. Stress is not just a psychological problem, it is a cardiovascular one, and walking consistently is one of the most accessible ways to address it. Walking also supports weight management, which is one of the most direct levers for blood pressure control. Losing even 5 to 10 pounds of excess weight can produce a significant reduction in blood pressure readings. Regular walking helps improve insulin sensitivity, modestly reduces body fat, and lowers systemic inflammation, all of which reduce the vascular dysfunction that drives blood pressure upward over time. Now here's the part that changes the whole conversation about the 10,000 step goal. You do not need 10,000 steps to see real blood pressure benefits. Recent research in adults with high blood pressure found that every 1,000 step increase in daily step count reduced the risk of heart disease and stroke by 17%. But the improvements leveled off once people reached around 10,000 steps. Walking more than that did not provide additional protection. More importantly, other studies show that the benefits start well before 10,000. Walking around 7,000 steps per day is associated with a 25% lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Cardiologists say that going from 3,000 to 5,000 steps per day is already enough to start reducing your risk. 10,000 is a good stretch goal, but it is not an all-or-nothing target. Here's what else matters beyond the number: intensity and consistency. Studies show that brisk walking reduces blood pressure significantly more than slow walking in people with both hypertension and prehypertension. The pace you walk at determines the magnitude of the benefit, but total daily volume also matters. And here is the good news for people who cannot carve out a single 30-minute walk. Accumulating steps in multiple short walks throughout the day is just as effective as one continuous walk of the same total duration. 3 15-minute walks produce comparable cardiovascular benefits to one 45-minute walk. Your body counts total movement, not whether it happened in a single session. And consistency beats intensity every time when it comes to sustained blood pressure improvement. Studies consistently show that the blood pressure reductions from walking build over weeks to months of regular movement. Doing it on and off does not produce the same result as building it into your daily routine reliably. So how do you actually make walking a daily habit that sticks? The cardiologists behind this research offer specific strategies. Start small. If 10,000 steps feels overwhelming, start with 3,000 and build from there. Any increase from your current baseline matters. Add steps wherever they fit. Park farther from entrances, take stairs, use part of your lunch break to walk a few blocks. These small additions accumulate over a day in ways that are clinically meaningful. Stack your walk onto an existing routine. Walk immediately after lunch or as soon as you get home from work. Linking the habit to something you already do reliably removes the need to find time for it separately. Include brisk walking specifically. A few 10 to 30-minute sessions per week, where you are walking fast enough to raise your breathing and heart rate meaningfully, will produce larger blood pressure reductions than exclusively slow, leisurely walking. You do not need to run, but you do need to push the pace occasionally. Track your steps. Wearable data shows that people who track their steps actually walk more than those who do not. The awareness itself changes behavior. You do not need an expensive device. A free phone app works. Walk with someone. Scheduled walks with a friend or partner are harder to skip and often go longer than solo walks. Social accountability is one of the most reliable behavior change tools available. The bottom line from cardiologists is this: walking is one of the most powerful, accessible, and free tools for blood pressure management that exists. You do not need to hit 10,000 steps to see real results. You need to walk more than you currently do, consistently over weeks and months. Every step is a step toward better heart health, and the habit matters far more than the specific number on your tracker at the end of the day. New videos every day covering the heart health and fitness science that actually changes your numbers. Subscribe and stay with us. But wait, because there is one more thing worth knowing before you close this video, and it is something most walking guides leave out completely. The blood pressure benefits of walking are most pronounced in people who are currently sedentary or who have hypertension. If you already have elevated blood pressure and you are not currently walking regularly, adding a daily walking habit could produce a meaningful drop in your readings within weeks. Studies have found reductions of 4 to 9 mmHg in systolic pressure from regular moderate walking in people with hypertension. That is in the range of what some blood pressure medications produce. For people with normal blood pressure who are already reasonably active, the benefit is more protective than corrective. You are maintaining healthy pressure and preventing future elevation, rather than dramatically lowering a number that is already in range. Knowing which category you are in helps you understand what to expect. If you have elevated blood pressure and you are not currently active, this is one of the most directly impactful lifestyle interventions available to you, and you will likely see measurable results faster than you expect. If you are already active with normal blood pressure, consistent walking is protecting your cardiovascular system in ways that compound over years, even if you do not see a dramatic number change in the short term. Either way, the habit is worth building. The cardiologists are unanimous